Hi children, welcome back to EPR's physics class. Today I am going to explain one more article in laws of motion by name circular motion. Circular motion. In the extension we have rotatory motion in the coming chapters. Circular motion means what? Till now we consider so many cases where the body moves along a straight line. All the equations of motion are applicable in case of a body moving along a straight line. Circular motion means its name only, in its name only. If a body describes its motion along a circular track, it is said to be in circular motion. That's all this. See, this is the way. This is the way. This is circular. If the position of a body changes from time to time along the circle, and which is equidistant from this one called radius r, then the body is said to be in circular motion. In this chapter we are going to measure friction related circular motion. Moreover, what is the force that causes circular motion? That means definitely there should be a force. That's why only this body is moving in the circular path with discipline, without violating, without disturbing from its position. For this definitely a force must act on it. Before going to that, just to recollect where we find this circular motion. Electrons are revolving around the nucleus in orbits. In this case, the necessary force which keeps the body in circular motion called centripetal force. This is called centripetal force. By abbreviation, it is denoted by FC. Centripetal force. The centripetal force is one which keeps a body in circular motion, and this acts along the line joining the body to the center, which is nothing but the radius. For example, this body say this act along this direction towards the center, FC, centripetal force. Let us consider some more examples in which centripetal force is required, and it was supplied by whom? That is one more question. When an electron enters the nucleus, the necessary centripetal force was supplied by the electrostatic force of attraction between the nucleus and electron. Very, very important. See this one. See this, what this is called. If it is a nucleus, it is a nucleus. Around this nucleus, electron is revolving. This is electron is revolving, and this is nucleus. Since nucleus is positive charge and electron is negative charge, you know very well there is electrostatic force of attraction between these two, which is given by electrostatic attraction is equal to, what is the formula? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Ze, which is positive, and minus E, charge of the electron, divided by distance, square of the distance between them, nothing but r square. This is called electrostatic force of attraction between the electron and the nucleus. This electrostatic force of attraction supplies the necessary centripetal force for the electron to revolve around this one. Beautiful example. Similarly, let us move to one more example. It is very huge, very huge. A planet is revolving around the earth. Planet is revolving around the earth. Which force supplies the necessary centripetal force? Can you guess? Which force supplies the necessary centripetal force? Since these are two huge bodies, according to universal law of gravitation, the force of attraction between two bodies, which is called gravitational force of attraction. The gravitational force of attraction between Earth and the planet supplies the necessary centripetal force. Now see this one, how it is. This is Earth, around this a planet is revolving, and the force between this planet m and Earth, that means a huge mass m, let this distance is given by capital R. Then the gravitational force of attraction Fg, which is given by G capital M small m by R square. This is called gravitational force of attraction. Here the gravitational force of attraction supplies the necessary centripetal force which keeps the planet moving around the Earth in the circular orbit. I think it is clear now. Now next article is, in this chapter, in this topic, we are going to study the circular motion of the bodies. Circular motion of the bodies exclusively, since we are in dynamics, the problems which relates to the force and the motion of the bodies which are in the circular path. I would like to categorize these under three headings. Number one is the body when they are moving in a circular path, that means only by friction, and that means in the horizontal plane. Motion in the horizontal plane. Horizontal circular path. Number two, only due to banking. Banking of roads and railway tracks is another beautiful. And number three, rough inclined plane. This is rough inclined plane. That means the first example is routine to us. That means when we are moving in a circular path of radius r on a bike, otherwise on a car, then how it is balanced? That means this is centripetal force and opposite force, which is called pseudo force, centrifugal, which is away from this one, and the frictional force between the tires and the road, they balance each other, hence it avoids what that is called skidding. This is case one. Once again, when a bike or a car is moving in a circular track on a horizontal road, here the necessary centripetal force which keeps it in circular motion was balanced by the frictional force between the tires and the road of this one. Case 1. Case 2 means due to banking. Banking means it is nothing but roads and railway tracks were constructed so that the outer edge of the layer was a little bit higher than the inner. That means, for example, it is horizontal. Actually, the roads are laid like this. That means, in the circular path, the outer edge is slightly raised. This phenomena is called banking. Third case is if this inclined plane is associated with the friction, that means it is a rough horizontal plane. What about this rough inclined plane? This is third case. Once again, we are going to study in three cases. Number one, motion on horizontal circular. Number two, on banking and what is the effect of this banking, and a rough inclined plane. That means while traveling on rough inclined plane, how we travel safely and what is the maximum limit of the velocity beyond which there is possibility for skidding and falling down. Boys, be careful. It is dangerous to you to have wild circle on bikes without following the condition for safe maximum speed without skidding. First, I am taking this one. Motion on a horizontal circular road. That means, see, here is a body. That means by name car. It's a car. It's taking circular curve on the road. Hence, there will be friction between the tires and the road. When it is taking this circular curve like this, it's moving in the circular path. What happened is the frictional forces comes into exist and they avoid skidding. The frictional forces and these two must be balanced each other. For safe maximum speed, mv square is acting outside, whereas the frictional forces will comes into exist, which keeps them in contact with the road. The condition for balancing these two is frictional force F is equal to mv square by r, where this frictional force is given by F proportional to mu n as this mu n. What is mu frictional force? N means the weight of this car will act downward, as a result normal reaction will act vertically upward. If we substitute this value, it is nothing but mu mg. If we place this value in the F, we got mv square by r is equal to mu m and g. M gets cancelled. V square is equal to mu g r. Last one, it is nothing but V is equal to square root of mu g r. Here the question is, what is this V? Why we make this V as a subject in this case? While moving along a horizontal plane, one should maintain a certain velocity to take a safe turn on the circular road. If you exceed that, what happened is you will skid down and your vehicle will fall down. That's why this is also called safe maximum speed. V max simply. This is called a safe maximum speed, where on a curved surface. That means while you are traveling around a curved surface whose radius is r and coefficient of friction between the tires and the road is mu, g is the acceleration due to gravity on the surface of the earth, the safe maximum speed with which the body can move without skidding is given by V max is equal to mu g r. How is it? Shall I repeat once again? Consider an automobile of mass m moving along a curved road of radius r. Then mv square by r is the centripetal force counted and it is balanced by mv square by r pseudo force. Then the frictional force comes into exist, which provides the necessary centripetal force to the vehicle. That's why the condition is these frictional forces is equal for balancing condition. That means for not just to slide. Then it is given by F proportional to mu n. N is nothing but mg. It is nothing but totally mu mg. Hence, if we substitute these values, F is equal to mv square by r. That's why mv square by r is equal to mu mg, we can say. From this we can derive V maximum is equal to mu g r. That means the safe maximum speed with which we can travel around a circular path, circular horizontal road without skidding is V maximum is equal to square root of mu g r. Now, let us go to next case. Motion of a car on a banked road. First, let me explain what is banked road. What is the difference between banked road and unbanked road? Generally, we find roads are horizontal, but at curved regions, whenever a road takes a circular track, circular curve, then we are turning on the circular path, means the inner side of the wheels may suffer more pressure. It is possible in case of trains also. Trains also taking curved track. In such cases, the weight of that train falls on inner wheels. Hence, there is possibility for wear and tear of this. Keeping this in mind, roads and railway tracks. What do you mean by banking? Banking means generally this is the horizontal, say it is a horizontal. Here the outer edge is slightly raised like this. This process is called banking. Sir, what is the use of this banking? What happened if the roads were banked? The road were banked means the outer edge of the road was slightly raised, not this much. By our understanding sake, I enlarge this diagram. Let us suppose theta be the angle of banking. Theta is the angle of banking. In such case, what happened? Then the weight of the car, otherwise the train, falls almost equally on the inner and outer. If it is not done like this, for example, if it is horizontal, when it is taking left turn, say, all the weight of this automobile will fall on inner edge, and it causes damage of the inner wheels. So they were banked as shown in the figure. For example, if it is the position of the car, in this case, see, this is the car. Okay, now what are the different forces? This is axis, it's the axis. Okay, and this is the car, imagine. See, what are the different forces act on it now? Different forces act on it. It is nothing but its weight mg, and number 2, normal reaction. It acts vertically upwards. This is normal reaction. Fine. When it is taking circular path, it experiences pseudo force mv square by r, which acts away from this one, and the frictional force try to keep this vehicle in contact with the ground. This is situation. That's why what I am doing is, now I am resolving this normal reaction into two components, rectangular components, by namely n cos theta, and of course it is nothing but n sin theta. This is n sin theta. Okay, now what about mv square by r? This mv square by r will act outward. mv square by r, this acts outward. This is the condition. Frictional forces in contact will be there. It is in this case. We will discuss it in the next case. Are you sure? Are you convenient regarding what this is called? The different forces acting. This is called block diagram. Car of mass m, it is on a banked road where theta is the angle of banking. That means the inclined plane makes with the horizontal, and weight mg act vertically downward, and the normal reaction act vertically upward with the surface of this one. Now this normal reaction is resolved into horizontal and vertical components, n cos theta and n sin theta. mv square by r is the outward force acting on this vehicle. In this case, we are going to find what is the safe maximum speed with which the car can travel on a banked road, so that it avoid overturning. In case of curved roads, generally we met accidents because of this overturning effect of the vehicle, which exceed the speed limit. If you observe carefully, our R&B department, road and building department, clearly they placed what is the speed limit at this place. Observe which it is very important. Okay, let's come to this one. Here, see, for balancing purpose, I am trying to bring the condition for the balancing purpose. What are the upward and downward forces? Let us see once. Here this n sin theta, this is n sin theta, is balanced by mv square by r. Say it equation 1. This one and this one, this balancing condition. Similarly, there is one more pair, another pair. Can you identify this one and this one? It is nothing but n cos theta is equal to mg. This is equation 2, second equation. Okay, now divide equation 1 with 2. So what we have? This divide equation 2 with equation 1 with 2. Nothing but n sin theta by n cos theta, n sin theta by n cos theta is equal to mv square by r by mg. This one and this one gets cancelled, which leads to, see, he will have light here, n and n also gets cancelled. Coming to left hand side, we have tan theta. Coming to right hand, after cancellation, we have v square by rg. This is last step. Therefore, theta is equal to tan inverse V square by RG. That's where this theta is called. Anybody? What this is called? Theta is called angle of banking. Angle of banking. Important article. At the same time, very simple also. Provided if you can draw the block diagram by yourself. Nothing to by heart, nothing to scoop into mind forces. Very casually you can write. What is our job? We are going to study the motion of a car on a banked road. In the previous case, on a horizontal road. On a horizontal road, what are the two compensating forces? Centripetal force, m square by r, provided by frictional force. What is the frictional force? F is equal to mu r. R is equal to mg, mu mg is equal to m square by r. Clearly we established a relation. V maximum is equal to square root of mu z r. Here, motion of a car on a banked road. What do you mean by banking? First, the outer layer of the road is raised to some extent. Why? For what purpose? While the vehicles are taking turning or curved path, the weight of the vehicle falls mostly on the inner wheels. Hence, it causes damage of the wheels. To avoid this, the outer edge of the roads will be raised slightly such that the inclined plane makes some angle with the horizontal. That one is called angle of banking. When a car is, imagine a car is on a banked road, what are the different forces act on it? Very easy. Its weight mg acts downward. Normal reaction with the road, which is nothing but 90 degrees with the road, is upward. Now I am resolving this normal reaction to two components, n cos theta and n sin theta, and the outward is m square by r, which tries to throw out the vehicle outwards. Here I am establishing the balancing condition. Here n sin theta is balanced by mv square by r. What happened if it is less than? That means this force dominates. What happened? The vehicle begins to move downwards itself. If it is greater than this factor, what happened? That means if n sin theta is greater than this one, it slides down. If mv square by r is greater than this one, what happened? This will fly off outward. So here I am establishing not less than or greater than. I am establishing the equation condition. From this n sin theta is equal to m square by r, equation 1, n cos theta is equal to mg, it is balanced, dividing equation 1 with 2, n sin theta by n cos theta, left hand side m square by r by mg, n gets cancelled, m gets cancelled. The result is sin theta by cos theta, nothing but tan theta is equal to v square by r g. Therefore, theta is equal to tan inverse v square by r g, where theta is the angle of banking. Next case, I am taking the motion of a vehicle on a banked rough road. In the previous case only we select the banked case only, but we are not taken into account what that is friction. Now in this case I am going to consider the friction, that's why it is called banked rough road. As usual, try to take the different forces acting in this case. It is a banked road. It is a banked road whose angle of banking is theta. Imagine a car just like in the previous case on the surface of this road, this car. Now I am going to write what are the different forces acting on this car. What are the different forces acting on this car? See this one here. Here when it is moving along the curved path, I would like to write the different forces acting on it. The weight of the car acts vertically downward. This is mg. This is mg, and the normal reaction acts perpendicular to the inclined plane, like this, perpendicular to the plane, like this it acts. This is n normal reaction, and outward forces acting are mv square. outward forces acting, they are mv square by r, where r is the radius of the road, v is the velocity of the vehicle, and frictional forces will act in this direction, which tries to keep this vehicle in contact with the ground, Now, carefully just you resolve all these forces into the components. See, this is n cos theta, this is n cos theta, and the perpendicular to this one, this is n sin theta, n cos theta and n sin theta. I am resolving this normal component into two rectangular. Similarly, I am going to resolve this friction, static frictional force into two mutually perpendicular components. See, one is acting in this direction, which is nothing but f cos theta, and this is acting in the vertically downward direction, f sin theta. If you say okay, then only I will move to the derivative part. Consider an automobile of mass m moving on an banked path of radius r, and mu is the coefficient of friction between the tires on the road. Its weight mg will act vertically downward, and normal reaction will act vertically upwards from this inclined plane. mv square by r is the outward experience force, as we discussed. If this mv square by r dominates, there will be overturning effect, and this n sin theta dominates, that means frictional force dominates, there is skidding down. That's why we have to equate them for balancing purpose, and f is the frictional force between the tires on the road. I am resolving this frictional force into two mutually perpendicular, f cos theta and this f sin theta. This is the block diagram of the case. Now, as usual, we will go for what, that is a balancing condition. See, what are the upward and downward forces acting? N cos theta is upward and these two are vertically downward. So, shall I write these two as n cos theta, that means upward force, is equal to the sum of the two downward forces, that means mg plus f sin theta, mg plus f sin theta. Shall we bring this f to the side? Then it is nothing but n cos theta minus f sin theta is equal to mg. Say it equation 1, this one equation. Of course, we have clear idea what is this f. What is this f? F is proportional to normal reaction, f is equal to mu n. That is why, shall we go for this n cos theta minus, in the place of f, shall we write mu s into n, welcome, sin theta, this is equal to mg. From this, if you make n as subject, see, n bracket begins cos theta minus mu s into sin theta is equal to mg. Moreover, the normal reaction value n is equal to mg divided by what this is called cos theta minus mu s sin theta, mu s sin theta. This is the condition. Say it equation 2. We be ready to use the value of n whenever we need this value. These are the equations obtained by comparing the vertically upward and vertically downward directions. Now, let us compare this left hand side and right hand side, inward and outward conditions. So, what are the inward conditions? N sin theta plus, along with this one, f cos theta component is there. These are the two, the sum of these two are acting inward, whereas mv square by r is acting outward. That is why I am going to equate these two once again. See, here nothing but n sin theta plus f cos theta is equal to m v square by r. This once again it is same. What is the value of f? F is equal to mu n, just to substitute its value, it is nothing but n sin theta plus what is F? Mu. Mu means mu s, just tends to slide, static friction comes into exist, into n cos theta is equal to m v square by m v square. I think we used capital R, that's why it is correct to use the same symbol R, m v square by R. Shall we take n as common between these two? N as a common? Yes. Now let us come to this part. N bracket begins. What is this value? Sin theta plus mu s cos theta is equal to m v square by R, capital R. Then do one thing, substitute the value of n from equation 2. From equation 2, simply it is nothing but substitute n from which equation? From 2. From 2. Come on, in this equation, let us try to substitute this one. See, here the value of n is given as mg, come on, bracket begins, sin theta plus mu s cos theta, as it is I am writing, divided by what we have here in the place of n, cos theta minus mu s sin theta. That's all. Simply what I am doing is, in the place of n I am writing mg by cos theta minus mu s sin theta. This is equal to how much? M v square by R. Ordinary calculation, I am striking off this m and m value, very simple. And what is our target? We are going to measure what is the safe maximum speed with which one can travel on a curved, banked, rough road. That's why I am making this V as a subject, which is nothing but V square is equal to, simply cross multiplication, G into R. It is nothing but GR into what we have already, sin theta plus mu s cos theta divided by cos theta as it is minus mu s sin theta. These are values. This is V square value. If we want V value, what we have to do? Simply we have to keep it square root of all these things. Square root of all these things. But I am going to apply a small technique. Divide and multiply it with cos theta, this entire equation. Divide and multiplied with cos theta. That means into 1 by cos theta and cos theta. What we have is sin theta by cos theta. What I am doing, once again, divide and multiplied with cos theta. That means this is equal to GR, okay. Okay, sin theta by cos theta. This goes to tan theta plus mu s cos theta by cos theta. Cos theta gets cancelled. Simply it is mu s divided by, what about this one? Cos theta by cos theta. It is 1 minus mu s sin theta by cos theta. It is nothing but mu s tan theta. This is tan theta. Last step, therefore, what is the safe maximum speed? Safe maximum speed on a bank road is given by V maximum is equal to square root of GR, bracket begins, in an order mu plus tan theta divided by 1 minus mu tan theta. That's all. This is the final derivation. This is the condition for safe maximum speed of a vehicle on a banked rough inclined plane. So these are the three cases. Number 1, on a horizontal road, centripetal force was balanced by just frictional force. Case 2, on a banked road, we derived tan theta is equal to V square by RG, nothing but theta is equal to tan inverse V square by RG. Case 3, on a banked rough road, that is nothing but safe maximum is GR into mu plus tan theta by 1 minus mu tan theta. That's all. This is about today's class. I advise the students, please go through the textual material and complete this one today. That means you practice it today only. Then you will get easily. Later it becomes a little bit hard. Right. Thank you.